I was in favor of property tax even before. But we already saw what happened with the schools when they had theirs on. You know, when they had the income tax on. They got beat up worse than we did. Their percentage was even worse. You put 2 property tax levies on, or even if they're on within 6 months of each other, people are going to be wise to that. Well, it's going to make it really tough. To be able to predict for sure, none of us can for sure, but that's just how we feel that it's not going to fly. Well, that's kind of where I'm at, because I'm sure, I think the school even wanted to catch one of the early ones this year and they missed some dates or something like that. But I haven't heard yet if they're going to be on it. Does anybody know for sure if they're going?
I thought I just read there was going to be a renewal.
I know they're talking about it, but I still haven't heard a date or anything.
Well, then they'll wait
Maybe we
and
can find
put it
that
on a
out by
special
Monday.
election.
Pardon?
I said, then they could probably wait and put it on the special election and go with us.
This levy for me doesn't affect anybody. I mean, the only people that's gonna benefit from this levy is Perry School System. Because the houses that this is gonna generate the money from is the Legends Golf Course area. I mean,
It's going to be any neighborhood where they're, say, 175,000 to 250,
Right, and
$300,000.
that's
That's where the taxes are going to come.
and that's going to Perry Township schools. At least in my book.
Well, I talked to somebody who lives out there trying to stay alive with highway patrol carriers, and they're, go to school. Which I don't have anything against either one of the schools.
I don't, but the thing is, if we're gonna hit our people with it, we should get something out of it.
Is there anything we can do with bonds to repair the streets?
It would just be crazy with that. Canton was.
I mean, I know it would, but-
Chunk and doing it, they were talking.
I think the problem with bonds is you'd have to take a robust bond, let's say like whatever dollar amount, and you have to use that to pay your bond back, and I don't know if I feel confident in that either, because we already have ourselves in.
Yeah, it's not gonna float, that's not gonna float, that won't be acceptable.
We really
did
are
consider
You did
a
consider-
bond, but with the Moody's rating where it is.
It's just too expensive.
We're just not the right.
Don't who are dead here. 10, 12 years ago, we probably had $30 million worth of debt, and we have much less than that. Okay, we're gonna have a lot more as soon as we start on that wastewater treatment plant. But really, our debt is not bad at all for a city like us. We have a huge amount of borrowing ability. It's a fact. I'm not saying that's what we should do, but that's a fact, yes.
I think I asked this before. Is there any chance that we can do something with the sales tax?
I don't believe cities can, municipalities can do it with sales tax. I think that came up. Perry,
I think you can.
Perry's.
We can't do a sales
That's
tax.
county.
I think that came up the last
County
week.
can, not a city.
What about that sin tax idea that you did before?
If we're doing all these things, why isn't there, like we talked about something,
Entertainment
cable
one.
TV, we talked about
Entertainment
cable
tax,
TV,
right.
entertainment tax.
I mean, a lot of stuff that we threw out with our first revision up to the administration's plan and the first round of all this, I mean, none of those ideas even cracked the pages. So.
I think that's a very good point. That wasn't seriously looked at.
Well, we were in a time crunch then, and we still had to get a bunch of information from other places, so we did that part of it. So, and now our time crunch is even. And Ken, if I'm correct, the FEMA grant, we won't know anything about that until May or June, right? So we can't even count on if we're gonna get that.
Yeah, that's not in any of our projections until we get the letter,
Until we get the what?
the confirmation.
And that was only going to amount to $190,000 per year
And it's
for
in the
12
plan.
months.
But it's
Not
in
the
the plan.
500.
It could be,
No,
I'm not sure if it's
yeah.
12 months, it could be 2 years, but that's how much we would get in 12 months.
That's what I said. Yeah, the years could be longer, but I'm saying a 12-month period is
Exactly.
only going to be $190,000 a year is what was said here the other night. I don't know how long they, for whatever time period they'll approve.
And this is a side. But if we do get that FEMA, and that $190,000 does come our way, in my opinion, the responsible thing of council would be to take a look at that $190,000 that now gets freed up in the general fund and evaluate the fire fleet and see what they, since it is their people getting the grant, their people doing that work, that's still technically in some way, maybe not the whole 190, because we could use that 190 in multiple ways. But if they need something, let's make sure we take care of them and let them know that we appreciate the hard work they've done with that grant process over the years.
They are on a very good schedule as far as replacing equipment when their time's up on.
They do have, do they get, I want to recall some, they have, the EMS gets some.
10%.
10%.
All the revenue.
Right, and that helps the EMS, but what about the fire side? Do they have anything for the fire side to help their engine, things like that?
I'm not.
I think that can just be used by the fire department, period.
Any old equipment that we sell goes into,
I'm just saying, it would be, I just want to make sure we evaluate that. You know, those fire engines can be quite costly. I'm sure it's in the plan here, that's how costly this can be. So if we could assist somehow, that would be great. Or use that money to help renovate one of the stations or bring one of the stations alive, whatever the case may be.
I want to touch on that, because here, she has on here, determine need to keep and maintain property for Fire Station 3, remediate, make improvements, and or sell. Well, if they're saying that we can't use it because of the mold and what have you, how in the world do you expect to sell the building?
Property down and sell the property.
So for the property.
we might have to go through remediation before we can sell it, or remediate to the point where we can demolish it, then sell the lot.
But wouldn't repairing the roof or putting a new roof on and getting rid of the mold be a lot less than tearing it down and then trying to sell it? You know, if we can't use it with a pump or not, you know, with a fire truck or whatever, why can't we use it to keep an EMS unit in there? So that, like with Nancy's situation, it didn't take 11 minutes to come from downtown. It would have only taken maybe 2.5 or 3. I just, you know, who is they that said this cannot be refurbished and brought up to code?
The recommendation from the Ohio Fire Chief's study on the whole fire department, all of those, that's their
That's
recommendation.
wonderful if we had millions of dollars to build a new station, but we don't. And until we do, and we can build one, the people on the east side are being cheated, we're going to end up with a lawsuit. I'm telling you, if that happens again, I'm suing her. That's not right. It's our responsibility for the safety of the people in this town, and that includes east side Madison.
I mean, that fire chief study, if I'm not mistaken, I think what it said was to close the main station and move it further out Lincoln Way somewhere, closer to Wales Road and Lincoln Way, so you could handle both directions there. The fire department says they can run that way, but still, how do you do that? I mean, you'd have to.
That's the worst intersection in town. I mean,
Well, it doesn't have to be that intersection. I mean, it could be a little bit further east of there or whatever. Yeah. You know. I mean, that's,
Yeah,
they talked about relocating the main station.
Where would you get the money for that? Right now, we have no money. I mean, I don't even think that's in the discussion period right now.
I mean,
We have more
there,
pressing problems
yeah.
than we're for the fire station. But we need an EMS on the east side of town, period. There should be no discussion about it. And then when you figure we go all the way out past 27th Street, and the closest station is South Erie, if they're in. If they're not in, then it's 17th Street West. If they're not in, then it's clear down in South Erie. Common sense to me.
Bottom line is that station is going to be evaluated to see if it's feasible for us to bring it back into service.
A lot of that has been looked at. In fact, 2 weeks ago, we had a meeting with the insurer on that to see what might be possible, because there's very little, but we're gonna get an answer back to that.
Do we have any documentation at the time of the closure that shows that the stated issues were checked by a professional and verified?
I believe we had a report from the building officials.
Our building officials?
That could be swayed a little bit, maybe, you know, that they again.
I don't think we'll buy that building in a heartbeat.
If we could,
Find people to buy that building in a heartbeat.
Oh, there's a
That
whole
take care of
list.
the remediation.
They have a whole list of names at the mayor's office who's willing to buy that building.
if you have that, Mr. Coe, if you could send that out there, right, I think that might help in our answering some of the questions that we have, and assist us in making our decision.
If we would do that, Ken, if we would, let's say it would be feasible to repair and reopen Station 3, to put an EMS unit there. We have to, well, I see in the vehicle replacement plan, there's already money in there to buy a new ambulance, because we'd have to put another ambulance, you're gonna have to hire additional people. Because to run an ambulance crew, you need 3 people. By closing the station and moving the people that were up there to the other 3 stations, that allowed us to put 3 people on each ambulance, so you only had 1 ambulance. Well, before, we'd have to dispatch 2 ambulances on every call, so with 2 guys in each, so one of them could be the 3rd person treating the person that was ill, and then the other guy would drive the truck back.
2 people, I don't think there's any
No.
law that says there has to be 3.
Well, I don't want to be in the back having a heart attack and having a driver and having 1 person working on me. I mean, that's why, from a safety
that's
standpoint, that's what it is.
obvious.
But I'm just saying, it's more than the expense of just the building. There's the equipment and there's staffing that has to go along with it. So if we're going to look at that, we probably need to figure all that in as far as the, the evaluation.
Well, let's close one on the west side and move that up to the east side, how about that?
Well, we should be
Let the
patrol
people
barracks out
know
west and
what's
move 17th Street out to patrol barracks.
In all honesty, if we're gonna discuss the fire department and their
Yeah.
location, all aspects of the city, because, you know, I agree, the east side does need to make sure that they're properly manned. But I could sit here and make the same argument that the people that live across the street from Tuslaw High School are equal distant away from their fire station as are the people that live in Charity, Rochar, and theirs. I mean, you got Kenyon, I got the Kenyon area up there, I got Langdale and all of
Yeah,
that.
but those people are annexed, and we've lived here all our lives.
But it's still our responsibility.
They still pay the taxes. So,
Martin, make sure you have that. She's not running again, so it doesn't matter.
Right.